Hello there my fellow Holotable heroes and welcome to another roster review. So today we will be reviewing the roster of a fellow Holotable hero. Let's give a shout out to him and his guild as well, Il Mamadore, and he's a part of SYN, My Bar and Lounge. So I guess they like to chill. So looking at their roster, nearly 10 mil GP, with 5 Galactic Legends, which is decent, but as you're approaching line of 10 mil, you might want to add another Galactic Legend at this point. So as always, I did have a chat with them and about what they're looking for to get out this review, and then also review their roster, already offline, so I have some notes to go through and suggestions where to work on next. And as always in these reviews, in the end, we'll go through the plan of what to work on when. So what they've told me is that they are already working Galactic Legend Leia, and after that they don't know what to focus on next. They were thinking of maybe going after Galactic Legend Rey, Sith Empire, so they get Leviathan unlocked later this year, or maybe just focusing on some other Grand Arena teams. So they would appreciate any advice and guidance on what to work on. Their favorite game mode is Grand Arena, so we'll be heavily focusing on that in terms of what to farm. And then, yeah, they've been struggling with matchmaking, as you normally do, that they're going up against players that have a lot more GP than them. While, this is a disadvantage, at the same time, it's a compliment. It means that you are a very good Grand Arena player if you're facing much bigger accounts. They think their mods are decent, but I can still have a look and see if there's anything to point out. So we'll go through the mods as always quickly and just highlight some of the things that potentially can be improved. With that out of the way, I guess let's just go through the mods quickly as we always do, just highlight some things. I think for the most part Galactic Legends are modded okay, pretty well. So let's go ahead and go through my notes. So in terms of John Skywalker, modded for speed, maybe there's a reason for that, I don't know, but normally you will want to have John Skywalker modded for offense, defense, and then protection primaries. But again, maybe there's a reason, the way they use them, that they need a fast General Skywalker. But yeah, maybe just one note there. Then in terms of Bad Batch, so there's a Bad Batch. I would at least, with the Grand Arena focus in mind, I would try at least get Tech, Hunter, and Wrecker to gear 12, because obviously then your Marauder will become a lot more viable. You'll be able to use Endurance and Negotiator as well, to counter pretty much anything out there. Gear 12 is enough to get the job done. Now in terms of Jedi, in terms of Jedi, they do have Ezra unlocked, so obviously with in mind that we will be unlocking Galactic Legendary at some point. You may also work on Ezra and apply Omicrons on him. And then let's look at the Night Sisters. We'll be farming Great Mothers and Morgan, because you've got the other Night Sisters, so then you can have 2 full Night Sister squads you can use in Grand Arena. And Old Republic, yes, the brand new Omicron. You've got the Old Republic up and running, Zalbar mission combo. So again, slap an Omicron on Zalbar. This you can pretty much do today, so that you can then use in the upcoming Grand Arena. Phoenix, we will want to put Omicron on Captain Rex as well, which will help you. Then in terms of Chewies, I would normally we mod them for tenacity, because if they get dazed, they are basically useless. So both Chewbacca's, put tenacity sets on them, and as well tenacity on the cross, because yeah, you don't want to then get dazed or stunned, right? And then for resistance, let's have a look. For resistance, again, for a Grand Arena focus player, you will want Zori, because sadly this will boost viability of your Fiend squad. You will want to slap as well Zeta on Fiend's leadership for this once you do have Zori up and running. And finally, unaligned force users. So with Galactic Legend Ray, in mind, same like for Ezra, we want to gear up Ben and slap an Omicron on him. So yeah, that's kind of the mods and what you should be kind of working on towards. And now obviously, as always, let's go ahead and look at the plan I prepared just to go through and show what's happening. So the first milestone is immediate. You just slap an Omicron on Zalbar and you've got yourself another solid squad you can use in Grand Arena. And in terms of the other milestones, as I already mentioned, they're working on Leia, so we'll be focusing on that. Then kind of shortly after that, Galactic Legendary as well, because most of the requirements they have already. And then while we are kind of farming ships and Sith Empire for finally unlocking Leviathan later on, you can squeeze in as well farming Great Mothers and Morgan, gearing them up, because obviously this is a very powerful team you can use in Grand Arena and Territory Wars as well. Now, in terms of the farming queue, if we just zoom in a bit, I guess, so you can see better, what we'll obviously want to finish up Drogon farm. They don't have a Drogon 7 stars yet, so finish that up. So you can then work on Leia, finishing up the rest of Leia requirements. We'll just start farming now Morgan, as well as Great Mothers, Sortie as well for further down the line for Leviathan. And once we finish that, we need to farm all the Leviathan ships to 7 stars. And yeah, let me actually show you their Sith Empire, because yeah, that's forget the fact that they are not geared up. Where's Malak? So I had a chat about him, asked him like what's going on here, and they said yeah, the issue is that obviously Darth Revan is not meeting the GP I think requirements for the event, because they're saving all the Kyrotech for Galactic Legend Leia. So fair enough, I can't be mad at that. Obviously Leia is better than Revan, but as soon as obviously you are free with the Galactic Legend Leia requirements, you will want to start doing the event so you can get Malak unlocked, because Malak as well takes a while after you unlock him. After unlock Leia, then we get to unlocking Malak. It'll take some time to get him from 5 to 7 stars. Obviously we need to farm Zori as well to fill in the Finn resistance squad, and then we can start working on already after that start farming Dr. Afra requirements, because it's another great Grand Arena team that you will be able to use. So it's kind of the farming in terms of getting things to 7 stars. Mostly I guess just ships for Leviathan, and then a couple of units here and there for other things to complete some of the squads. Now in terms of gearing, obviously we do want to first wrap up the gearing for Galactic Legend Leia, and then we can as well in between start gearing up. The reason why I kind of went light on the gearing queue is just because they mentioned the bottleneck with Kairos, and as well they've got lots of relicking up to do both for Leviathan and Leia still, so that kind of gives you more resources to put into relics rather than gearing. So yeah, that's what I would suggest. And just I know you don't have Malak yet, Revan up and running, but you can just start working on Malgus, because even Malgus without those two guys can still get something done, especially in 3v3. So then in between we just start as well gearing up Leviathan requirements. At this point here, after you get Leia unlocked, we'll be focusing on Rey, so we'll also need to get Ben and Ezra in between up and running and geared up. Then we can fill in your Night Sister squad, the Resistance squad in between while you're waiting for Leviathan and things like that. And at this point we will get Great Mothers as well, milestone complete. And now here we'll kind of end up gearing all the Leviathan requirements, and then this is where you can start working on your Bad Batch, I guess, get them to gear 12 as mentioned before, so you get a very good actually Marauder performance in terms of the ships. And then finally let's go and have a look at the relicking queue. This is where it's gonna get the busiest. Obviously first you just want to wrap up all the Galactic Legend Leia requirements, get everything relicked up to where it needs to be. Then we have 3 more missing requirements in terms of relics for Galactic Legend Rey unlock. And this is also where we want to work on Ben and Ezra, get them relic as well, slap Omicrons on them. And yeah, as mentioned before, we do want to have Omicron on Captain Rex. You can do this straight away, same like Zalbar, it will help you out. Here we can also then get Malgus Omicron applied, because at this point we will have Darth Revan already relicked. Then in between, obviously we can also squeeze in Night Sisters as soon as you can, just get them relicked as well, so you can get very use out of them in Grand Arena. And then the last push is just getting, at this point you have everything, ships ready for Leviathan, everybody geared up, so just kind of the last push to get all those relic requirements done for Leviathan as well. So that's what I would recommend in terms of obviously planning priorities. In terms of Omicrons, just immediately slap on Zalbar, immediately slap on Captain Rex if you do have obviously Omicrons to spare, because this gives you 2 new powerful teams for Grand Arena that you can use straight away. And then we'll start first obviously focus on getting everything done for Leia, and then as well for Rey, and then we can squeeze in between some Night Sisters there, and then finish up the Leviathan requirements also, and then start preparing for the next step. You know, Dr. Aphra, start working on her requirements. Bad Batch there, 3 of them to push Marauder, which, you know, obviously it'll come in handy at some point anyway when you will be unlocking Lord Vader. Alright guys, so that's all for this video. Hopefully it's useful and helpful, just obviously going through the roster of Ilma Madora, just, you know, highlighting some of the modding. For the most part, as they mentioned, their modding is in a good place, more or less. I didn't have much to add, but definitely a few Omicrons that can help you out straight away, and then obviously just setting the order of farming and gearing, just that you kind of, you know, try to remove the bottlenecks as much as possible. So after you will complete this plan, you know, you will have 2 new Omicrons teams to use to begin with, 2 new Galactic Legends, you will have a second and, you know, better Night Sister squad to use. You will get Leviathan unlocked, which obviously in return will give you another team to use with Malgus and Darth Revan in Grand Arena. And also let's not forget completing the Finn Zori squad with slapping Zeta on Finn's leadership, and then Zori get her up and running. Now Zori, she does not need her Omicron to be good. It obviously makes her better, so it just depends. That's why I didn't highlight her Omicron, because it is good, but you know, there are probably other units that will benefit more from your Omicrons, because it's usually a bottleneck as well. Thank you for watching guys, I'll see you in the next one, but until then have fun, enjoy life, and may the RNG be with you my friends.